Michigan's rock station. Q106.
Corrine has entered the waiting room.
Hello.
How's it going, buddy? Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, good to talk to you.
Corrine Roberts, the illustrator of such cute, adorable, whimsical, awesome dragons, man. You're going to be at Capital City Comic-Con once again, July 10th through 12th at the Lansing Center. So, yeah, you're a repeat offender at Capital City Comic-Con. Love it. So, Corrine, let's get into it right away. Out and About, it's back. It's on your website, and it's perfect timing because I walked over to the Kroger across the street from the station. I sweated to death there. I've lost 50% of my body weight and water weight from sweating from this very short walk. And you've got the winter edition of Out and About now, where you've got dragons frolicking in the snow and the ice. And I felt my temperature drop a few degrees just looking through these illustrations.
Yes, definitely. And that's the funny thing. So I knew that I was coming out in the winter. So that was I had it out last year, but it's been interesting that the summer months are where people are like, oh, I want that one. You know,
Right.
Like close to the holiday, you might have someone pick it up because, you know, they want it for somebody who knows the series. But it is interesting how the summer, they're like, yeah, that's what I need right now.
Exactly. Which is odd. I mean, for people in Michigan, because it felt like winter, all of 2 weeks ago. So it's, yeah.
Right.
It's so nice to talk to someone in this time zone, too. Like some of our guests for this year's Capital City Comic-Con are on Pacific time, and they kind of neglect to tell me, oh, that time I said we should talk, I meant Pacific time. And I'm like, talk to you in 3 hours, I guess. But no, same time zone. This is so much easier.
Exactly.
So your Conjenda is full, and including Capital City Comic-Con. You're hanging out in Kalamazoo this weekend. So what is your favorite thing about attending these cons? Because you do a lot of them, man. You're on tour. You're touring like Metallica does, for Pete's sake.
So the more and more, you know, the social media doesn't really work for you. I've always loved being in front of people and getting their feedback and seeing their faces like light up when they engage with my artwork, but even more so now. Like, I really feel that there's a connection and a community that you get when you go to conventions. And I also do art shows. So like you mentioned, I was just in Kalamazoo doing an art show, but there is something about nerd culture specifically that there's no better place to celebrate than at Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What is your favorite moment over the last couple of years of doing these cons? Is there one that stands out to you?
One of the feedbacks that I get from my books, Bud Bites, is that I'll have parents or kids read it. And especially when the parents are like, so my daughter read it and she thought it was really weird, but she loved it. And that's like that right there. You know, like when you can see the apprehension on their parents' face, but then like the kids are like, no, I loved it. And that's what I really like. So like in fact, I just got it even at an art show. Same thing. Like somebody was like, yeah, they were like a little worried because they don't like Halloween, but they read it. All of a sudden they loved it. And so when you get that at a show, I mean, that's what I'm there for. It's just awesome.
And especially from little kids. Little kids don't, look, if they snitch a cookie, they're going to lie about that. But when it comes to like the appreciation for art and aesthetics, they'll tell you if your stuff sucks, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no, brutally honest, too. They're brutally honest. So when you get a feedback that they're like, no, that was, and like I said, they will just flat out be like, I just thought it was really weird, but I loved it. You know, where like somebody else would use different wording, but I'm like, no, that's what I want. That's perfect.
Now, you recently worked on a project for a Capital City Comic-Con alumni, and I want to dig into this with you. You put together a 3D house, like a papercraft thing, and it was actually it's a replication of the house that she lived in, and you handcrafted this thing. Like, I didn't live in this house. I didn't live, like Kaylin Smith would have a lot of questions if I was like, I was in that house too. But you did this paper crafted watercolored house for Kaylin Smith, and I teared up looking at it. And again, I never lived in the damn place. I'm like, oh my God, this is so sweet.
I really wanted to do some sort of paper craft. And that's another thing. As much as I love doing books and stuff, I have been, needing other little outlets. And I saw this video of doing a paper house, and I used to do that when I was a kid. And I just like totally forgot, or like little paper ornaments. I was like, you know what? There's nothing better. And she had gone through a move, and moves are always hard, especially when you love your previous house. But
Yeah.
the like, but you love the previous house. So then I wanted to give her something that she could always bring her home with her.
It was, I mean, it's a stunning piece of work. Again, I've never been around Kaylin Smith's house. She might have a restraining order on me. I don't know, but but I saw this thing. I'm like, and it's exquisite craftsmanship. And the medium that you tend to work in is watercolors. What is it about watercolor? Because a lot of us, like, we play with watercolors when we're little kids, and then you've taken this to like a whole new level. What is it about the watercolor medium that speaks to you?
That it actually is very calming. So when I first did it, I absolutely hated it. I loved it when other people did it. And I was always hooked because I grew up on a lot of children's books, and watercolor is a big medium for professional illustrators. I just could not achieve it, and so I hated it. But I was like, no, you need to stick with it, and you have to like let it go and kind of let it do its own thing. And I think mentally it also helped with a lot of like anxiety, and also just that like mantra of like, no, you need to just let it go and do its own thing and then come back to it. And so from that point, I was kind of hooked. And I do love all the transitions. Like you said, I mean, I was able to create a 3D object with the paper and doing the watercolor, and I just love working in that medium.
It looks so freaking cool. And again, with the whimsical nature of your designs, it really lends itself to that. On this day that we're talking, June, wild things are, let the wild rumpus begin. I myself have been part of many a wild rumpus here. Who are some of your inspirations as far as like those type of illustrations? Because you do a lot of stuff that's geared, well, towards people of all ages, but like kids really key into what you do.
So Marie Sendak is a big one. Marie Sendak, Dr. Seuss, obviously, because he just has like that whimsical nature. And he would be very good at making worlds. He was really good. Outside of books, but there was also like Tim Burton, right? Like I loved a creator that could make a world and make you believe that you just belonged right in it, almost immediately, by style, by look, everything. And so, and I'm also a Star Wars fan. So the concept artist, Ralph McQuarrie, was a huge influence as a kid because you would see these worlds that he created, and I had no idea, like outside of, the movies, that there was all these worlds that they created for their sets, and it just opened my mind that I could be also creating all these landscapes and worlds, and that's what I wanted to do. And those were really big influences. Another one, as I got a little older and I was starting to draw myself, was Tony DiTerlizzi. He's a great artist, and Gris Grimley. If an artist looks up Gris Grimley, he did Edgar Allan Poe, an illustrated version, and I just knew right then to keep going with watercolor because, like I said, I hated it. But when I saw his, I was like, no, if he can exist, then I can exist too. And I need to really keep at watercolor.
I need to look up this Poe thing. A couple of years ago, I watched I think it was House of Usher on Netflix. I don't know if I don't know if you've seen it. Oh yeah, then yeah, like it got me all sorts of nerding out about Edgar Allan Poe, so I need to look up this guy's work. So art is it's subjective. It's in the eye of the beholder, and 9 times out of 10, if you see it on Facebook, it's some jerk who made it with AI or whatever. So for Corrine Roberts, with these gorgeous illustrations that you do, with these cool pieces that you do, you mentioned these worlds that that your inspirations created. I mean, that Wanderlust deck that you have, that's right in the pocket of that, man. So for Corrine Roberts, what makes a great piece of art great?
If it can immediately launch you into that world, then I've achieved my goal. And a lot of times, especially when I'm at art shows, or especially people are seeing the landscapes that I do, like you mentioned, the Wanderlust deck. People often will say like, oh, your pieces just look like there's a story already set up. Like you're seeing a snapshot. And that's what I really like. If I can get you in that moment, then I've done my job immediately. And that's what is a good piece of art to me. Especially, like I said, concept art, if it just grabs me immediately and I'm going into that world and kind of creating something in my own mind, then that's where I want to be.
Hell yeah, I love it. I love it. One quick question before we move on to my next thing. Last year I stopped by your booth and you had this guitar there, and this is kind of a new thing for you. You've never done art on a guitar before, if I'm not mistaken. I think this might have been like your second or third one, maybe. So you're still kind of digging into that. Are you still doing really sweet graphics on guitars?
So that was something that I was trying out with because I hadn't done acrylic. I mean, like I said, it's all watercolor and pen. So I did actually a couple more, and then I got like a commission here and there. I got a couple of commissions actually for guitars, but it was really more about me trying to paint my style on something else. So in fact, right now I've paused at least doing guitars, and I have a helmet and a skateboard lined up.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so it's not just the guitars, but I had a lot of fun doing that, and they were great practice items. So I'm going to continue doing that. But right now, the next project, like actually this weekend, I need a helmet. So
all right.
I'm going to decorate it.
Very cool. Very cool. Can people approach your booth at the con? Can they commission you for various and sundry helmets and guitars and skateboards?
Oh, yeah. I've actually been approached that somebody wanted like a dresser drawer. And I was like,
neat.
all right, where do you live? Like that's the point of like shipping and everything. But, I'm game for it. It was a lot of fun and very, very different. Every artist needs new challenges.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Corrine, I got one more question for you. I mean, we're a radio station. We're a rock station. We're Michigan's rock station, Q106. So I got to know, what's in your playlist these days?
Queen.
Okay.
So interestingly enough, I don't know why I went down a Highlander rabbit hole, but so I know that might seem very odd, but like I've been down like a 90s, and then I was like, Queen did this, and so then it just reignited all my love for Queen. So recently it's been Queen, especially the Highlander album, which is weird, very weird, and yet I love it. It's just,
right.
But Queen right now.
There's nothing weird about that. If I had a nickel for every time I said there can be only one, I would have all the nickels in the world. I quote that line to an obnoxious degree anytime I'm in any kind of competitive situation. I'm like, there can be only one. Oh, yeah. No, I'm right there with you, lady. Right there with you. I love it. I love it. That is Corrine Roberts. You need to see her work in person, but you can also see it online. We'll link to all of her stuff in the comments on this thing. Corrine, we cannot wait to see you and everybody else at Capital City Comic Con, July 10th through 12th at the Lansing Center. We appreciate the time today.
Thank you, and great to see you.
Michigan's rock station, Q106.